If you have a Cancer, Scorpio or Pisces, Sun, Moon or Rising sign, or you just have a very busy 4th, 8th or 12th house in your natal astrology chart, this is a look at the energies that may be around you for the week ahead, Sunday to Sunday. It looks to be romance, love, devotion, a couple coming together, feelings of happiness and joy, soulmate energy, a lot of joy and celebration here. Along with the Believe the Impossible card. So this seems to be something coming out of the blue. That's the blue moon card. Something coming out of the blue. It may have been a while coming, obviously, but something suddenly changes. And there might be just some coming together in some real joyful way. And it's kind of a goofy, childlike vibe too. Like two people grinning at each other and just being goofy and silly and warm. This is a real childlike wonder here as well. Not only the youth card, but the childlike exuberance of the sun card there. It's just very innocent and wholesome. So that sounds like an exciting event. And we've got achievement here. But look, it will take some effort. The course of true love never did run smooth or some such. I don't want to put that on you, but the energy here is that there is some kind of decision that you might need to make because of this new, it has to be a love situation. I'm sorry if you don't feel like this pertains to you. There is a fork in the road that this might bring up, and the World card here reiterates that. It sort of says you might have to let go of something. It might be the end of an era to begin anew. So that could be quite a difficult decision is what I'm picking up. There will be a decision to make of how to go forward, so it's not all just like everything falls magically into place. So the energies to be wary of this week, when this comes in and when it does sort of change everything up. Your self-worth and self-love needs to come to the fore here. That card jumped out at me before I was actually ready to select a card, but it says self-worth, self-love, self-value, self-respect. So that will be a big theme. And again, believe the impossible. So those two things really need to go together, like this is true. You might be dealing with some inner child wounds, wounds from your childhood that may be triggered again about your self-worth, exactly. So the energies to lean away from. Don't walk away from something to defend just because you're scared of it. Stick around and there's sort of energies back and forth. Okay, I will go back and forth on that. Energies to lean away from is walking away out of hand. You've got to lean towards looking at two sides of a story and being prepared to put your point of view across, having good boundaries, having back and forth about what is going to work for you and what isn't. But you don't want to just, so there might be a bit of back and forth there, a bit of negotiation, and that lean into that. What you don't want to do is just dither around and not make a decision. There is a forked road there, so you are going to have to make a choice. Don't come at this with a poverty consciousness, a poverty mindset that things are going to go wrong and you're going to be left out in the cold again. Lean away from that thinking that may come from these inner child wounds from the childhood. Really, if you've got your self-worth and self-belief nailed down, then you won't be having these fears of being left out in the cold. Or if you can see this future might leave you out in the cold, if there are warning bells, well, don't ignore that, because this is what you don't want. You don't want this again in the future. So only you will know whether this is a fear, an irrational fear or a valid fear. But it's worth either exploring or just being strong enough not to succumb to the fears there, and don't just walk away from this opportunity out of self-protection. This is definitely worth exploring. And now you're going to have to look at the whole situation in a balanced way. Both sides of the story, look at the other side of the story, be balanced and fair about this. Again, this sort of indicates a decision that needs to be made. And lean into your healthy boundaries. When you've got healthy boundaries, you can examine all the pros and cons. You can go back and forth and really hash something out. there may be past hurts to deal with, past bruises that need to be healed in this, whatever this is. Now, there might be something contentious here about the decision you make. Again, you might have to leave something behind. And it may even be this relationship may not offer you the way forward. You may find that you're not on the same page. You may find that you really are, there is too much conflict there to really resolve. And you let go of this situation. That's one interpretation. And look, if you'd like a personal reading, go to my Snip feed page. They start at just $15 and I can look at this situation specific to you. The other way this could work out is that choosing this relationship could be quite contentious for some reason, that other people around are taken aback or unimpressed. So you're being asked to not only go within and do what's right for you with this Hermit card, don't listen to other people's opinions. And the Biker card says the same thing, go your own way. Now, whether this is stay alone, be a loner, that will vary. But at the very best, you could say, listen to yourself, do what you want to do and strike out on your own path, either with this relationship, within this relationship, or not. So only you will know what the scenario, how these energies are going to play out for you. But there is love and rapture there, and that love and joy is just coming up in many cards here. There is an ending or a forked road. There are things to be put into the past, maybe past hurts, or this whole relationship needs to be put in the past. But don't walk away just out of fear. Stick around and examine both sides with fairness, and don't look at this from a fear or lack mindset, and don't just dither around and not make a decision because you're scared. You're going to wade into it, get into the fray, wade in it there to figure out what this is. You do have healthy boundaries, so use them. And ultimately, the decision has to be yours. So don't feel the pressure from outside forces. With your self-respect and self-worth intact, you can make the right decision for yourself. And guess what? Believe in the impossible, because the impossible can come true for you this week. So I hope this helps, my darlings. If you need clarification, I'd love to do a personal reading for you. But otherwise, this is Sarah wishing you much abundance, love and joy for this week and beyond.